Looks like these found themselves some redemption. Hello and welcome everyone. Today I'm doing a review on the Powerbeats Pro, but this is going to be a 3-month update. Now, firstly and foremost, one thing that I do want to mention is that I had previously done a review on the Powerbeats Pro versus the Power HBQ Pros, which are basically a much less expensive alternative to these here. You know, the form, shape is basically the same, function-wise, basically all the same. However, and during that review, the Power HBQ Pros easily took the win. I mean, between the much lower price, between sound quality, maximum volume, that sort of thing. But upon future discovery, the quality, or rather the Powerbeats Pro that I had before, were defective. So that led me to get the cool navy ones this time instead, and boy have I been pleased. So these are hands down my most favorite earphones, headphones, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I have been wearing these, I mean, basically, like anytime I get the chance. Seriously, I'm busting these things out. The sound quality is absolutely incredible. No matter what you do, they will not fall out of your ears, and I love that about these. Again, I mean, I can play dodgeball at Sky Zone. So if any of you guys aren't familiar, Sky Zone, it's like an indoor trampoline park where you play dodgeball too. I mean, how cool. But, you know, point is, I'm jumping around, I'm throwing, dodgeballs and doing all sorts of crazy things, and these bad boys will not fall out. And so for that, if they can withstand a test like that, well, I mean, they're good for anything. So again, for me, especially as I've been really getting more into a lot of my athletic endeavors, these have served, I mean, every bit. So again, sprints, they stay in perfectly. The sound quality, again, is great. And there's nothing to me for what I need that can trump these. So I know that there are supposedly other better sounding, wireless earbuds, headphones, but, something that will never fall out, I don't think there is anything, especially under those extreme conditionals. So, with that said, these things are worth every penny, at least to me. If you're not really using the full extent of the extra ear hook and all that, then maybe, it's not. I'm sure you guys saw that, so let me just... But yeah, the gripe that a lot of people have had with these, though, otherwise, is the fact that this case here is big and bulky. And so, to me, I don't really mind it because I'm not really, I don't really see the need to have this in your pocket all the times. For these, if I'm not using them, I'll just put them in my pocket, and it's not that big of a deal. I believe they've got a standby, so that way if they're not actively being used after a certain amount of time, they kind of time out-ish, but they still stay on, which is weird. But either way, you don't need to have this in your pocket all the time. So for me, whenever I go places, I always have, for the most part, at least my backpack in my car or wherever. So, this goes in there just because later, after I'm done with these, then they go back in as a case of security, naturally. So, clickability of the buttons has remained great. And like I said, sound quality-wise, I love these. The only possible thing that they could have, or rather that those Power HBQ Pros still technically do have, is the maximum volume. That actually still is higher on those other earphones, which is actually pretty surprising. But do you really need max volume and then some on these? I mean, maybe if you're hard of hearing, but outside of that, you're just looking to do damage to your ears, and I mean, nobody wants that. So anyways, that's going to wrap up today's, after 90 days, 3 months review. They have 100% the SIN seal of approval. And so I'm very excited to see if they end up doing another generation launch on these, what improvements they might make, because ultimately wireless headphones, especially of this kind, are still pretty new, pretty experimental. So I'm looking forward to seeing what changes. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you again for the next video.